All right, let's just jump right into it. I want to talk about something kind of weird, a paradox you've probably seen yourself. Why the smartest people aren't always the wealthiest. It's a strange idea, right? But it happens all the time.
I mean, really think about it. You know that person from school, right? The one who was a genius, aced every test, everyone thought they were going to rule the world. But then, maybe they just ended up with a totally fine, average career. And at the same time, some other kid, maybe an average student, goes on to build something amazing and gets total financial freedom. Like, what is going on there? How does that even happen?
Well, it pretty much boils down to this one central conflict. You've got the planner on one side. This is the person who's just lost in thought, endlessly analyzing everything. And then on the other side, you've got the player. This is the person who's actually in the game, out in the real world making moves. One person's living in their head, the other, they're living in reality.
Okay, so just a little heads up here. If you're someone who, considers yourself pretty smart, this explainer might hit a little close to home. It might even sting a bit. But seriously, stick with me, because seeing these traps is the only way you're ever going to sidestep them.
All right, let's dig into the very first trap. And this one is a biggie. It's all psychological, and it's all about that paralyzing fear of being wrong.
You see, think about how it works from when you're a kid. Smart people get rewarded for one thing, getting the answer right. In school, you get A's, you get praised, and over time, all that praise builds an entire identity. You start to think, yeah, I'm the smart one. But here's the problem. When being right is who you are, the very idea of being wrong feels less like a simple mistake and more like a personal attack on your very identity.
So what's the result? Well, to protect that identity, to avoid being wrong at all costs, you start to overanalyze everything. You make these incredibly detailed plans. You try to account for every single possible outcome. And you get stuck. It's analysis paralysis. You're just waiting and waiting for the perfect moment. A moment that, let's be real, never comes. And the whole time, the game of life, of business, is happening. And you're just sitting on the sidelines.
Okay, now let's flip it. Look at what the player does. They don't have a perfect plan. They don't need one. All they have is a bias for action. They try something. Maybe it blows up in their face. Okay, fine. They learn, they adjust, and they go again. See the difference? They get that failing at something doesn't make them a failure. It's just data. It's just feedback.
And that's really what it all boils down to, isn't it? Money doesn't care how smart you are. It doesn't reward brilliant thoughts you keep locked up in your head. Money rewards action. Period.
All right, on to trap number 2. And this one is sneaky. It's so insidious because it takes your greatest strength, your intelligence, and turns it into a shield for doing nothing.
If you're smart, you have a superpower. You're amazing at calculating risk. You can see every single thing that could possibly go wrong, like with perfect clarity. But that superpower has a downside. It can turn you into a total risk avoider. You'll always choose the safe, predictable path. But here's the hard truth. You don't build real wealth by playing it safe. It's built by taking smart, controlled risks in business, in investing, whatever it is.
100% certainty. This is the dream that keeps so many smart people stuck in neutral. They're just waiting for that ironclad guarantee that their plan cannot fail. But guess what? In the real world, that number doesn't exist. It's a fantasy. And if you wait for it, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life.
I mean, look at a salary. That's the perfect symbol of this comfort zone. It's safe, it's predictable, and hey, there is nothing wrong with that. But you have to know it's a trade. You're trading away the potential for massive growth in exchange for that feeling of security right now. And the person who's wired to avoid risk, they'll make that trade every single time.
And here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Your intelligence makes you a master at justifying your own fear. Oh yeah, you can build a brilliant, logical, completely airtight argument for why you shouldn't start that business, or why you shouldn't make that investment. You'll call it being smart or logical. But I want you to ask yourself, really, honestly, is it logic, or is it just fear wearing a very, very clever disguise?
Okay, moving on to trap number 3. And I gotta tell you, this one might just be the most dangerous one of all, precisely because it feels so good. It feels like you're making progress.
Smart people are addicted to learning, right? Cracking open another book, signing up for another course, going down another research rabbit hole. It all feels so productive. It feels like you're getting somewhere, and your brain loves it. Every new fact gives you this little hit of dopamine, this tiny rush that feels just like real progress. But, and this is a huge but, that's the trap. This endless learning can become the most sophisticated form of procrastination on the planet.
You lie to yourself. You say, I'm just preparing, or I just need to figure out this one last thing. But really, you're just putting off the scary part. You're delaying the moment you actually have to do something. I mean, listen to this. Knowledge without execution is worthless. It does not pay. You could read 100 books about building a business, but until you actually try to sell something to someone, that knowledge hasn't made you a single penny. It's like having a full tank of gas, but never turning the key.
So the lesson here is brutally simple. You have to get in the game. The market does not care if you've perfected your theory. It rewards speed, it rewards execution, it rewards the people who just show up and get things done. A good plan that you execute today is infinitely better than a perfect plan you execute next year.
Okay, so we've laid out all the problems. We've seen the traps that are waiting for you. The big question now is, so what do we do about it? How do we break out? How do we make sure our intelligence is our greatest asset, not our biggest roadblock? It all starts with a major shift in how you think. Your brain is an incredible tool, no doubt. But if you only ever use it to build a safe, comfortable little world made of theories and plans, that comfort zone becomes your prison, a prison made of thoughts that keeps you locked away from actual results. In this image, this is the choice right in front of you. On one side, you're trapped. You're in a room, surrounded by theory, buried under plans, there's no way out. But on the other side, there's an open door, a path forward. And you know what? Reading another book isn't going to open that door. The only key that works is a simple, terrifying decision. The decision to finally take action.
So, practically speaking, what's the new playbook? It's just 3 rules. Rule 1, start before you're ready. I'm telling you, you will never feel 100% ready. Rule 2, get comfortable with calculated risk. Stop running from it. And rule 3, and this is crucial, flip the ratio. Your goal should be to execute way more than you consume.
Because in the end, everything we've talked about, it all comes down to a single moment. The moment you stop getting ready to start, and you just start. That's it. You hit publish, you make the phone call, you send the email, the planning phase is officially over. The time for action is right now. Because that is the real difference between the planner and the player. It's never been about being the smartest person in the room. It's always been about being the one who's willing to make a move, the one who acts. So I'm going to leave you with this one question, and I want you to really think about it. What are you going to move on today?